Hey guys, and welcome back to the Geeks the Multiverse podcast. I'm Brandon, and as always, I'm joined by Will. This episode will be our May 2025 recap, where we'll be discussing some of the news from the last month. So join us as we talk about the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer and all the stuff that James Gunn has been saying since about the upcoming season, some Spider-Man 4 rumours, which include some very interesting characters that might be joining the film. Then we'll hop on to Quickfire News, where we'll be discussing castings, potential first looks, and cancellations. Then we'll be moving on to Avengers movies being delayed, and finish up with a Superman trailer discussion. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Alright, so like a couple weeks ago, the Peacemaker Season 2 trailer released, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know if it looks as interesting as the first season to me, because it seems to be doing the multiverse stuff, and I feel like in everything we've seen that a lot recently, and not really sure what to expect with that, because it could go in a multitude of directions, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not entirely sure where they're going with it exactly. I mean, I think that is part of the intrigue at the moment for me, is that sort of that discussion around, okay, so what's the deal with this second season of Peacemaker? Is it a case of like, oh yeah, the first season, like everything but that last Justice League cameo is canon. This is the same continuation, same sort of events, but just in the DCU. People are saying that the Peacemaker at the end of the trailer is the DCU Peacemaker, and then this DCEU Peacemaker is going to be taken over, but that doesn't make any sense, because you see Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl and Maxwell Lord at the start of the trailer. So I think I'm very intrigued. I'm very invested in how they're going to go about the season. But I mean, I agree. It looks really good. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect, and that's sometimes a really nice thing.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in agreement with you that they're not doing the whole DCEU Peacemaker kills the DCU Peacemaker and like takes his role over. I think they're just sort of trying to explain like how the multiverse stuff in the DC, the new DCU, and how the doors are open to all the other universes, quite literally, with the super Peacemaker cupboard that he has.
Yeah. I think there'll probably be a line in the movie. What is it? It's a show.
It's a show.
There'll be a line. There'll be a line in the show where it's kind of like they're walking through the quantum unfolding pocket unit, whatever James Gunn's calling it, and they're like, there's gonna be a line where it's like, oh yeah, these are doors to different realities. Some are very similar to ours. Some you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, unless you really looked for it. But some would be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how they're going to kind of like a wink and a nod to being like, look, this is barely different from the DCEU in the sense of like where, as far as Peacemaker is concerned, but it's slightly different. It is in the DCU. Most stuff already happened, but there are some slight changes.
Yeah, like the explanation that that James Gunn's been trying to say is like, if you didn't see it happen in like a DCU movie or show, then it's like safe to assume that it didn't happen exactly the same way, or it didn't happen at all. So like from the stuff we've seen in the first season of Peacemaker, like how Rick Flag died and stuff like that is probably all the same, but like minor details about stuff will be slightly different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can see some changes already, considering we know the show opens up. James Gunn has spoken since about the show sort of opening with him auditioning for this superhero team that Maxwell Lord is fronting, that we see in the Superman movie. We can see Sean Gunn there as Maxwell Lord. We can see Guy Gardner. We can see Hawkgirl. So we know it's not the DCEU continuity already, just from that.
Yeah. Actually, I did know. Well, I don't know if I'm crazy and not remembering the trailer right, but there was a lack of like his dad in the trailer. Now I know, obviously, in the first season he died, right? But they sort of, in the last episode of the first season, they left it to like he's haunting him, or like he's imagining him as being like around him and stuff, and I don't think he was in the trailer once, was he?
No, he wasn't. No, I mean we very likely will see a couple versions of Peacemaker's dad, because I mean we've seen in just from behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, like on set leaks and stuff like that.
The
Mural, that there
right?
is that there's another white dragon in that other Peacemaker's world. So we've got that one, and then we've also got the one that's haunting him in his mind. So I'd imagine it's safe to assume that he's coming back for this.
I think he's I think he is there, but I just didn't think like he just wasn't in the trailers at all.
No,
and I thought that was not. I don't know if it was like a weird thing to leave out, but like it was just something I noticed that they just didn't point out in the trailers, because it was like the ending of the first season very much highlighted him being there. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can see that being something they dive into perhaps a little bit more in a second trailer that will drop a little bit closer to the show's release. But it did give us a good look at sort of like some of the stuff that's going to be going on in the season. James Gunn was also, I don't know who he was talking to, I don't know who he was interviewed by, but he was talking about the new season, and he was talking about the quantum unfolding chamber, which we saw in the first season of Peacemaker, which is the sort of
the cupboard,
the cupboard, the wardrobe or whatever that his dad has in his house that leads to all the Peacemaker's tech and stuff like that. James says that the QUC is the center of the story in Peacemaker Season 2. We see a lot of different characters from Superman in the season, including Isabella and Nathan and Sean. And then we see a bunch of other characters later on in the season from other parts of the DCEU and DCU rather, and Superman. And there might also be one really, really big cameo near the end of the show.
Yeah, so I actually heard that it's Sergeant Rock. Yeah, he's been uncancelled and he's showing up in that.
Nice, but then he's going to show up in Peacemaker and he's going to get cancelled in a different way because he's from World War II.
Yeah.
Just says some outrageous shit.
Yeah, I assume there'll be Superman. I think that's probably the biggest assumption.
I would assume so, right? I mean, we've already seen, like you said, Nathan and Isabella and Sean, which are all very easy ones to bring over because they were shooting at the same time as Peacemaker Season 2. So,
yeah,
you know, it's. I mean, if James Gunn was able to commute to direct certain episodes while he was directing Superman, then I think it's safe to assume that they could bring David Corenswet on a private jet over to do the same.
I'm pretty sure they literally filmed it like around the corner.
I don't think it was even.
I'm pretty sure
away.
It was like a couple streets away that they were recording at one point, anyway. So
yeah, because Superman moved about a bit, didn't it?
And I mean, hey, it doesn't have to be like that either. Like they could have filmed it at any other time. True, in complete secret, obviously, because there's been no leaks about it or anything like that.
No. This season has been really tight in terms of leaks. I mean, we don't know anything.
Only those like random little set pictures that came out like a year ago.
So your money's on Superman showing up at the end, is it?
Probably. Oh, it's not at the end. It's just later in the season. It's not like yeah. But
it could be Lex.
It could be. That could be interesting. Or it could just be like it's probably someone from Superman, I'm guessing, because they're probably like they were both filming at the same time, and Superman comes out pretty much I think a month before Peacemaker, right?
Well, I mean, you say that, but equally,
could be for anyone.
He said it's a really, really big cameo. Like, I don't think it'd be that. I mean, it would be very exciting.
What if he meant big, as in like the size big?
The size,
it's a very tall man.
Maybe it's Big Superman, Superman's older brother.
What if it's secretly? I kind of want it to be someone like Jimmy Olsen. Like, that's not like a massive cameo, right? But I think he could be so fun. I think he could be a fun character to show up in there.
See, maybe Blue Beetle, because they have a relationship in the comics, Peacemaker and Blue Beetle.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a really big cameo. And like the way they were hyping it up, like
What about
it's one of like a
what about
big
Booster
character.
Gold though? Like Booster Gold isn't a big character, but like there was, I mean, around the time of Peacemaker and Superman shooting, there was they all but confirmed Kumail Nanjiani is Booster Gold. He was hanging around with the cast of Superman and Peacemaker.
Maybe
He was hanging around with James Gunn. Like, yeah, sure, they could be mates or whatever, but like this is all around the time that he was rumored to be cast as Booster,
you say
and then
that
nothing
his
was ever
mates
confirmed.
like deconfirms anything. Like we know James Gunn hires his friends, so like.
Well, yeah, true, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that could be kind of wild. Like if it's just like Booster Gold shows up from the future and he's like, Peacemaker, you know, you got this fucking timeline is crumbling or whatever, and maybe it sets up the big bad, something like that, yeah. Or I don't know. I mean, he loves Green Arrow. It could be Green Arrow.
There's a lot of people it could be.
There is. I mean, yeah, we could be guessing till the end of time.
The easy assumption is that it will be someone from Superman.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, who knows? I mean, we already know we're getting Michael Rooker in for a whole Eagly arc, which is kind of crazy.
Side plot.
Yeah, apparently Michael Rooker is confirmed to be playing Red Sergeant Wild. Red was it?
Red Saint Wild. Red Saint Wild.
Red Saint Wild. That's the one. Who's like the world's most famous eagle hunter, and he's going to have
comically large blunderbuss gun with him.
Yeah,
like a tuba.
So I mean that would be a fun little side plot, little arc going on for Eagly. That could be cool.
You know those memes where it's like the main character story, and then it's like side character subplot, and it's like SpongeBob in like this really dark room, and like it's like
yeah.
It's like that. That's the Eagly subplot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting big things. Speaking of big things, though, there have been a lot of big rumors going on about Spider-Man 4. Apparently, well, let's start off with something that we know for sure. It's now releasing before Avengers Doomsday, which we'll get into later, because there have been delays with the Avengers films. We'll get into it later in a later topic, but it is now confirmed to be releasing before the Avengers movies instead of in between them, which takes away a lot of the concerns that it's going to be this big Avengers level multiversal fucking battle world, whatever. And we're hoping now it's going to be this, you know, grounded street level sort of turf wars Spider-Man story.
I mean, okay. Can we actually talk about that now before I forget my points?
Go for it.
So that I've got 2 points to this. The first one is that originally No Way Home was meant to come out before Doctor Strange or after. Was it after? Which one came out? No,
it came out Doctor. It came out No Way Home, then it was Doctor Strange.
But it was actually going to be the other way around, right? I remember. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was because America Chavez was supposed to be in it.
Yeah. Yes. So that's what I'm saying, is that my first point is that it doesn't really matter which way round. It probably won't change a whole lot either way.
No,
and my other point is that the script has already probably been finished because they're probably shooting in the next few months.
True.
And that also, again, they probably won't change much apart from like minor characters. Also, you know, they probably won't have to change a lot.
Yeah. I can maybe see it ending with an incursion or something like that, and then it sets up. Okay, you know, here's what's coming next. Spider-Man's going to have to go say hello to the Avengers or something or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, you are right. I think it might maybe tweak certain stuff. You know, maybe probably has more impact on a post-credit scene than it does the actual movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like the only thing that'll affect is like how things happened, not so much what's happening.
Yes, yeah, you are right there. But there are the rumors of a more street level story do persist, though, with some characters being rumored for the movie. That being Scorpion, which we saw played by was it Michael Mando? What's his name?
Something like that.
is it Michael Mando or something like that? I think his name is in Homecoming, and people have been waiting ever since for him to make his return, and hopefully he does, because I mean, if you've seen him in anything, but especially Better Call Saul, you'll know he'd be fucking incredible. Tombstone is also rumored to be in the movie, which is interesting because they just did a sort of a Scorpion versus Tombstone story arc in the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series. So that'd be interesting to see if it sort of, in a multiversal sort of way, sort of lines up with that. And Boomerang, which is a villain I'd not heard of. I'd seen him, but I'd not really heard the name.
I mean, hey, DC ain't doing much with Boomerang these days. Captain
Well,
Boomerang.
I mean, you make a good point. You make a very good point. So yeah, I mean, he's a member of the I can't remember what they're called. Like, it's like Spider-Man's version of the Rogues. It's got like a bunch of like C/D list Spider-Man villains like Shocker in it and stuff like that, and they sort of form their own little alliance. So that could be an interesting thing to see in the movie. Obviously, there's still those older rumors of them casting an older Asian actor and an older female actress for villains of the movie. So as it stands, there's a lot of rumored villains going on, rumors of Mr. Negative, all this sort of stuff. There's a lot going on with this movie in terms of just rumors anyway. And just in terms of the villains being rumored. But it is entirely possible that, you know, some of these just happen in like an opening montage, and where he's just taking down sort of seeing D-list villains. It could be a turf wars gang situation where, you know, you need quite a few villains and they're in opposite ends of the turf war. I mean, who knows? What you thinking on this one?
I'm thinking that. Well, there was other rumor as well, right? There was Sadie Sink. I think she was like. Was it officially cast or not officially cast?
Yes, yes, she was officially cast, but she's not confirming anything. It was just confirmed by like I think did Deadline and Variety confirm it?
Okay, so that I don't know what's going on with her, but apparently she's going to be one of the main characters of the film. So
yes,
not sure what's going on there. If it's well, the internet automatically jumped on like the Mayday Parker stuff and whatever.
God, I hope not.
For that stuff. Hopefully she's just I don't know about like Black Cat. I'm not sure there.
They could go with like, I'm pretty sure if you could Google this and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that Tombstone's daughter is the second Beetle, who's like a female Beetle,
Janice Lincoln.
And she could potentially be playing her. I don't know.
It's all just rumors at the moment.
It's all just rumors. You've also had Tarantula.
Different. Yeah,
Tarantula's also been rumored. That was at the Disney merch conference. I mean, fucking hell.
The whole team's in this movie again.
Yeah. It's looking pretty busy, but I have faith that then you know, that it will make sense. It's not going to be a TASM 2 situation where they're like major villains that all have to have their story arcs, and it's more just a sort of like it's an opening sequence, half an hour of Spider-Man, you know, trying to take down a gang war. Okay, that's when we see Scorpion and Tombstone. Oh, halfway through the movie, he's got to stop a bank robbery. Oh, that's Boomerang. When he shows up with Tarantula, and it's like, you know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
I feel like I feel like a lot of films, when the rumors start coming out about all these characters, everyone just jumps on, like, oh, it's the opening montage, and it's never ever happened.
No, it hasn't. No,
I don't remember the last time they ever did that.
Yeah, me neither, actually.
But
we also have. Oh yeah, no, you please go for it. This is a big one.
Yeah. So the quickfire news. You want to do the?
Oh no, I was gonna say the one we skipped with Spider-Man rumors. Mark Ruffalo.
Oh yeah, that's at the top of our list. No, I was reading too far down. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is apparently also heavily rumored. Like there were a lot of people talking about this one.
Yes.
Gonna be in the film. Now, what Savage Hulk rumors?
There are some Savage Hulk rumors. I mean, the initial one that I read was Mark Ruffalo will appear as Bruce Banner. And then subsequent ones was like, rumors of a Savage Hulk, and all that sort of stuff.
Professor Hulk.
Maybe Professor. I mean, we're sort of in the midst of Professor Hulk in the minute, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I think they maybe still have that in their contract that there has to be another MCU hero appearing in the Spider-Man film.
Was that was that an actual part of the contract, or is that just them just doing it?
I think it was initially with the first, like, sort of the first, 2 or 3 movies. It was like a case of like you have to have 2 appearances from other MCU heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have Iron Man in a substantial role in the first one, and Captain America in a minor cameo role. Then in the second one, you had Nick Fury and I don't know, fucking Maria Hill or something. And then the third one, who knows? I can't remember.
Doctor Strange and Wong.
Oh yeah, of course, I forgot about Strange. Yeah, Strange and Wong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's sort of like I'm pretty sure that was initially a part of the contract. I don't know whether it still is, but it would make sense why we've not had just Spider-Man on his own doing his thing.
I doubt we ever will if it's going to continue.
Yes,
but the thing is that apart from Hulk, all of the other rumors are actual Spider-Man characters, not
Yes.
Well, we say that until Sadie Sink's cast as like. I mean, because who could she be? Some random character.
Demolition Man or the Blob.
The Blob. Big wheel, finally. Yay.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? I mean, it could be one of those where, like, maybe if they do a Savage Hulk and they do the split personality thing again, that it could be that, like, maybe Bruce Banner doesn't know who Spider-Man is, but maybe the Hulk remembers, because it's a secret sort of like deep-seated personality that maybe didn't get affected. It's more of a manifestation of Bruce's trauma as opposed to a person, so he didn't get affected by the spell. Or it could be, I mean, if Mr. Negative is in the movie, then you could have the Hulk sort of like being taken over by the negative juice, the
negative juice. Wait, what if it's like the gangster Hulk, like the pinstripe suit Hulk?
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Joe Fixit, that would be incredible. That would be so great. I would love that.
He comes out with the pinstripe suit and stuff.
Bro, if he's coming out with the pinstripe suit, I'll be there day one, dressed in my finest suit.
How much did you pay for that skin on Marvel's Avengers for that?
I don't want to talk about it. And on that note, Quickfire news. Bang bang. Bang. Okay, so we've got some new Harry Potter castings. They finally cast the 3 main kids: your Harry, your Ron, and your Hermione. They look the part. I'm sure they, like with the original movies, they tested a lot of people, and they auditioned a lot of people and found the best possible castings in terms of acting the role and also chemistry with the other characters. Again, I'm still on the stance of we don't need this show, but sure, I'll watch it.
You gotta milk the IP somehow.
Well, yeah,
the actual like what was the last spin-off they did?
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was really interested in that. Not a lot of people, at least.
It's kind of sad that last Fantastic Beasts film is the last, but for now at least, in that continuity of Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a hot take here, but I've never really cared for that.
What, Harry Potter in general?
Yeah, I've watched them all. I was like, they're alright.
Oh, fair enough. Each to their own.
Some of them were good films, but not really that invested in the whole wizardy crap.
Fair enough. I've always been a big fan. I've never read the books, but I think doing a TV show, more of a long form format, will lend itself a little bit more to adapting the books fully and exploring all the smaller stuff that happens that perhaps doesn't have any have any time to be showcased in the movie. All I can say is I hope that these kids are protected.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a real rough one being a child actor, and especially in such a big IP for your first, sort of big role. Please look out for these kids and make sure they don't get all fucked up from the amount of bullies and trolls and people online that are really gonna rip into them. But moving on to another show, The Penguin showrunner Lauren DeFrank says that the Batman spin-offs are in the early stages of development. This is something we knew from Matt Reeves himself, and I think James Gunn and Peter Safran have also mentioned it at some point. But it's nice to know that they're actually moving forward.
No idea what they are. No idea. They had that GCPD show a while ago, but that didn't. I think that got like completely shut down. And
yes, yeah.
Matt Reeves was starting to work on. There was the Arkham thing that hasn't been updated in 10 years. About like the Arkham show, but that was moved. That was like a DCU thing now. But I haven't heard anything about that for a while now.
No, not even from a DCU standpoint.
Yeah.
I've not heard a single thing.
Yeah.
But I suppose if Matt Reeves is working on it and he's working going through whatever he's going on in his personal life and working on the Batman Part 2, then I doubt he has time for anything DCU related, and fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
We also got our potential first look at Dynamic Duo, the potential DCU, potential Elseworlds, animated, 2D animated, 3D animated, stop frame animated hybrid film that I'm really, really looking forward to. We got a potential first look. We've seen some just sort of like concept art and like 2D sketches of Dick Grayson and Jason Todd stood together. We also saw another one of the Gotham City skyline with Wayne Towers, and you can see, if you really zoom in, you can see Nightwing perched over on a rooftop. And then what was the third one? I think it was like one of the Robin's rooms, and then Batman in a silhouette,
very
standing in a
Batman.
doorway. So I mean, it looks cool. I'm really interested in what this film's going to turn out to be. It's sort of combining potentially, we don't know yet 100%, but potentially combining Jason and Dick's sort of timeline as a Robin a little bit, or at least letting there be some crossover in there. So maybe Dick's in for a few years, and then Jason comes in and joins as Dick's planning to leave, and there's a little bit of crossover there. If this is official concept art, then Nightwing's clearly going to be in the movie at some point. So who knows what this film is, but it looks damn good.
And it's they're using puppetry for this film, aren't they?
And puppetry, yes.
It's like a hybrid between them.
Yes.
Well, the design, I think, for Red Hood was a bit weird.
Oh, the Jason Todd one, yeah. I mean, in the comics, he is canonically ginger, but Batman, it was another thing that added to the resentment of Batman, got him to dye his hair to black so that he looked more like Dick Grayson when he was out as Robin. So it's interesting that they're going with him being a redhead.
I don't mind that so much. I just think that his hair looks really weird, like whatever haircut he's got going on up there.
Yeah, it's very much like they're going like, oh, he's the edgy Robin. Let's give him like a fucking mohawk or whatever, or like an emo punk rock sort of.
Yeah, it's just all around a bit of a weird design there.
Yes, it is. But I kind of dig it. It kind of looks different and cool, and I don't know. I'm excited. It's a little bit more visually interesting, but who knows? I think it's concept art. I mean, concept art is concept art. It's not the final product. I mean, the amount of character models and designs that that a movie goes through is insane, whether it be live action or animated. And very often it doesn't even remotely reflect the final product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might not even be real, to be honest. It probably is, but I don't know where it even came from.
No,
I've never seen the
only
source.
Time will tell.
So, Battlefront 2. Did you play that back in the day?
I played it a little bit. I wasn't the best at it, so I kind of gave up.
Yeah, it's suddenly having this like resurgence. People are finally begging for the third game after what 7, 8 years since it came out.
It's been a while. It's been a long, long while. Yeah.
It's interesting to me because obviously it was completely like grilled when it first came out with all the microtransactions and it just wasn't that good when it came out. But I guess they've fixed it, and no one was playing, and now everyone's gone back to play it and like, it's actually pretty good now. So we'll see if they make another one, because EA like money, and I'm sure that they're seeing big dollar signs right now in their eyes. Or even if they patch it, because it's still quite buggy, or at least there's still some stuff like quite broken that needs fixing. And I wonder if they're gonna go back and fix it now, because the original developers of that game were like, "Oh yeah, we'd love to make a third one." But I don't know if they even work there anymore now. It's such a long time.
Who knows? Only time will tell. I mean, I think if the popularity keeps going, then it could be a thing where it's enough to warrant making a third game, or it could just be a thing where, like you say, they go, okay, we can afford to pay people to go back and patch this and add new things and maybe new DLCs or whatever and that sort of thing. Yeah. Similar to GTA 5, which has been, that game has been updating and running and whatever for years now. So it could be a similar case.
Yeah, and unfortunately for another game, the Black Panther game that I don't even remember it being announced, to be honest.
Yeah, I forgot it existed.
I know there's that other one, like the Captain America and Black Panther one.
Yeah.
It's coming out like next year. That's what I thought this was originally. I was like, wait, what? But no, this is a different Black Panther game from an EA thing. And the whole studio just got shut down. It was only around for like a couple years, and it's already been gone. So, how brutal the industry is.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful. I mean, it's happening to so many game studios at the minute. It's disgusting. I mean, the amount of news that's coming out, just in terms of even just in terms of the games that I follow and like superhero games and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, this Wonder Woman game, it's been cancelled, and by the way, yeah, the studio's shut down as well. Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, okay, fuck.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy how expensive and like how long it takes to make games these days compared to 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we're still.
No, go on.
We're still waiting on we're still waiting on the Wolverine game. I mean, that was announced what, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
It was a long time ago. I think wasn't that like the original like PS5 release like conference thing.
Yes, it was. It was. Yeah, it was the same. It was the same time that they announced Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Jesus Christ! You know what I think is crazy, right? In the game industry, do you remember all those like tie-in games we used to get for films and stuff that they'd make them in like 6 months, and some of them are genuinely now better than like the actual main AAA games coming out that costs like millions and millions of bucks.
Yeah,
and
isn't it insane?
Years of time. Like some of them games are like pretty underrated. Now,
I loved some of them. I think some of them were really, really solid games.
Here we are now, where every game costs hundreds of millions of dollars, and never a lot of games are getting just cancelled, like midway through development, just gone. Like didn't even want to finish it.
I mean, it's the same thing with the movie industry in the sense of the more you pour into these projects, the more people have to consume them for you to consider them a success.
Yeah.
So, you make a movie with a $500 million budget, well then, yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to have to make $1 billion or more just to break even. Like, that's ridiculous. Don't do that. And it's the same thing with the game industry. Don't be quite so precious with all of these games, and don't pour so much money into them and so much time into them, and maybe you don't have to sell quite as many units to consider them a success.
Yeah.
But yeah, also on the speaking of Marvel, the Defenders are going to be returning in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, potentially. So we know Jessica Jones is confirmed to be returning. They did a whole announcement of it, and we've seen set pictures. We don't know if Punisher's going to be back in that season, but I think it's safe to assume that he will be. And funnily enough, Mike Coulter and Finn Jones right now are both in New York City, where they're filming Daredevil Season 2. So it just feels a little coincidental to me that Iron Fist and Luke Cage just happened to be in the same location as Daredevil and Jessica Jones during the shooting of Daredevil Season 2. I mean, now that those shows are canon, you've got to bring it back, right? I mean, those are Daredevil's people. Like that's who he calls if he needs a team of people. That's who he calls if he needs a hand. He doesn't call Iron Man. He doesn't call Professor X. He doesn't call Mr. Fantastic. He calls the Defenders. Those are his people. The Defenders and Spider-Man in the comics are like that's his lot. That's his people. So, I mean, if they're doing the Devil's Reign storyline or adapting that even slightly, which they are, I mean, you got to bring them back, right? Surely.
You think so? Easy layup.
Absolutely. I mean, the easiest layup you'll ever see. I'd be very disappointed if they didn't make a return. Mike Coulter is sort of in a stance of take it or leave it. He's been like, I'd love to return, but I don't spend every waking minute thinking about it. I've left it in the past, but I would absolutely take a phone call with them. And Finn Jones seems like he really wants to come back. There was an interview with him a couple of months ago where he's like, he's at a Comic-Con and he's like, I'm ready, put me in. I want to fucking give me a fucking chance. I want to prove to you that I can do this. And I think he was kind of being like, we had some shit people working on my show. He didn't say these words, but it was kind of implied the way he was like, give me a fucking chance. It was very much like, look, we weren't working with the best people to showcase Iron Fist back in the Netflix days. Give me a fucking chance in the MCU. Let me do some cool shit. I can do it. And yeah, let him do it. Let him try and prove himself. Give him the comic accurate suit. Bring him in. Have the Defenders back. I think that would be such a great opportunity. Yeah, I'm so excited. But also, Marvel Studios will not have a major Hall H panel this year at SDCC. So, in regards to any news on that, it will have to be some smaller individual panels. They're not going to have a big sort of like, here's the next sort of 10 years of movies, and it's not going to be here's a teaser for the next Avengers movie or whatever. I think that comes likely as a result of the delays.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, major layup. But for the other company, they're doing something. I think Peacemaker is going to be like, they're going to be talking about Peacemaker DC at SDCC this year.
Yes.
But
yes.
I think they should be doing a little more now that this has been said, because neither of them are going to be there really, like, or at least not having a major panel.
No, I mean, it's really funny. The last couple of years since COVID, really, they've been really sort of hesitant to make a big appearance at SDCC. Obviously, last year we did a podcast on it. You know, obviously there was some quite big announcements from Marvel in regards to the Avengers movies and whatever. You had the whole RDJ reveal, but I can't. If they're not going to be doing a major panel this year, then I can kind of see why, because Avengers movies have been delayed. Spider-Man is more of a Sony announcement. And then other than that, you've got a couple of TV shows that they might do a panel on. Like they might do a little Marvel television panel where they talk about, Vision Quest or Wonder Man or, Daredevil Season 2, that sort of stuff. Like you say, the other company, DC, who knows what they're going to be bringing to the table, because by then Superman will have already released. So maybe you get like a cheeky first look at Lanterns or Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. We know Peacemaker's going to be there. They're going to be revealing the new intro sequence. But again, I think this year the SDCC is going to be a little bit dry, I think.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, really. But I feel like this happened a few years ago. I remember Marvel weren't there. Was it DC?
Yeah.
One of them wasn't there.
Both, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't the first time this has happened, but still. I just think, again, easy layup.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, that quickfire news wasn't that quick.
Yeah, but we had a few more things to talk about. So
I think so. Yeah, there was a little bit more to talk about. But moving on to something we've been sort of poking at for a couple of topics now. The Avengers movies have been delayed. Marvel Studios has officially delayed Avengers Doomsday from May 5th to December 18th, 2026. 2026, not 6th. That's not how that's not how dates work. And Avengers Secret Wars has also been delayed to December 17th, 2027. Avengers movies dropping in December. They've famously got their May spot. But switching up to December is interesting, especially when you consider what other movies are releasing around then. But I'll get onto that in a bit. Good is all I can say. Good. I'm glad they've done this.
Yeah, December for me, I usually think of Star Wars.
Yes.
That's usually the Star Wars spot. But I guess there probably isn't a Star Wars film coming out for those years, or maybe they'll be the ones in like April or May. Those years. So, hey,
yeah,
it's better delayed than rushed. So,
absolutely. I mean, the turnover was already crazy to me. And I thought, I'm not sure about this. They need to give that more time. And luckily now, even though it's just like 6 months, or 7 months.
How many months?
7 months delay.
7 months, Jesus. All right.
Which isn't like a lot, but it's enough. It's definitely enough for them to make it a little bit more polished. I mean, could you imagine going to see the first Avengers movies since Endgame? These big fucking events, and they look like shit.
They look like Spider-Man: No Way Home before they patched in the VFX. Like
they look like the trailer leak.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or like when Andrew Garfield originally came through the portal and he looked like a Fortnite character. Just rubber.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be very disappointed if these movies get rushed. These are not movies that you rush,
no.
Especially if they do end up soft rebooting the MCU afterwards. This is not how you say goodbye to that timeline. You don't rush it. You don't. You know, you want to take your time with it and make sure they're the best possible projects, especially with Marvel being. With people having such a lack of faith in Marvel these days.
Yeah,
you've got to do well.
I was going to say that they cannot. This will be their Spider-Man's before now. Is it before the first one as well?
Yeah.
Is it in July 2026?
Yes.
I've also just realized that it's still coming out before the Batman Part 2, the first one. I've still just realized this. And Secret Wars is just a few months after. Like a month and a half after.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. Wow, okay. So yeah, that's since their films haven't been doing well recently. Even the Thunderbolts has not done very well. And people were saying that one was actually like pretty good. So
that one is it's really good, yeah.
So even at that point, like Spider-Man will be their next one. They'll make a gazillion $1 million. What else have they got coming out before then?
Nothing. It will be
Spider-Man's their next movie.
It'll be Fantastic Four. It'll be Spider-Man.
They haven't got a movie for Avengers. A whole year. Wow.
No.
Whoa.
They're really slowing down production at the minute, which is really nice. It's nice to see. Not because I can't keep up or anything. It's just like you need to focus more on quality. they've got a few TV shows coming out. They've got like Eyes of Wakanda. They've got Marvel Zombies. They've got Vision Quest. They've got
Marvel
Wonder Man.
Zombies. I thought that came out like 4 years ago.
It kind of did.
It was
in
that
an episode of What If. Yeah. They're doing a spin-off mini-series.
I remember that getting announced like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember this.
So yeah, they've got the television department is still going in between, but in terms of movies, and this is a really great thing, by the way. You know, I mean, when you look at Marvel's success rate at the minute, you've got Spider-Man, then 2 Avengers movies. Those are all going to rake in money.
Is there not one in the between now? Like the Avengers movies?
I don't know.
There's gotta be. There's gotta be.
I don't think there is. Well, no. I mean, there might be, but they just haven't started production on it yet. There's rumors of like maybe a Doctor Strange movie in there or a Thor movie in there. But they just haven't. They've not announced anything so far. Maybe SDCC is where they announced that. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, that's that.
Maybe Blade's gonna sneak his way into that spot somehow.
Maybe they've been filming Blade this whole time.
It's now shot in someone's basement.
Maybe the real Blade is the friends we made along the way. Speaking of friends, friend of all, Superman, has just gotten a new trailer. Well, it's not just gotten. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It got its official trailer. We had our teaser trailer in like December. Fans have been clamoring for this new one for months now, and it's finally out, and it looks good. We finally got some like dialogue in there, some interactions between Lois and Clark, some stuff with Lex. We got to see Pa and Ma Kent for the first time. A lot more of the Justice Gang, which is really cool. I cannot wait for this movie.
Hell yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I have faith.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that he's a nice man.
He is a nice man.
He's just a nice man.
He's a bloke. Good bloke.
He's a top bloke, mate. He's a top bloke. And I think that's what's been missing from Superman for quite a while, unless you've been watching like Superman and Lois or My Adventures with Superman. The television department has really been carrying Superman for the last few years. I mean, they've been doing a fantastic job. But in terms of movies, a good, kind, nice person has been really missing from the big screen for quite some time now. And it looks like we're finally going to get that with David Corenswet, just like I knew we would. Yeah, I'm dead excited.
Yeah, I think that the Metropolis looks a lot better than the teaser trailer. They've clearly added to it in certain scenes. Like when they've used the same scene, you can see stuff is slightly edited, like new buildings have been CGI'd in. I think that it looks pretty great. It's still got that really weird like blue filter over the film. Like everything is like it's a weird like blue. I'm not sure what that's all about. Just the color grading is a bit weird.
I've seen a lot of people complaining about the color grading on Twitter, but then when they edit themselves, yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I mean, the amount of people that are editing it on Twitter and it just looks orange afterwards, like it looks like a scene out of Black Adam. And it's just like, oof, no, that's not better, Chief. You've not made an improvement there.
Yeah, it's just got like this like blue tint to everything, and it kind of makes it look a bit like dimmer than it should do. Like daytime stuff looks quite.
There's a lack of like warmth. To certain stuff.
Like it doesn't look as bright. Like some daytime stuff looks quite dull, actually. Like the bit with it's not like a spaceship, is it?
What the
it's
Mr. Terrific?
It's the Mr. Terrific's like ship, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's daytime and it's really sunny, but the actual scene looks like you got sunglasses on. You know, that sort of dimming.
Yeah. The trailer opens up with something I'm really excited for. I think that there's a scene that's rumored to be like 11 minutes long, and it was also the scene that's rumored to be the chemistry test that David and Rachel did, where it's a scene between Lois and Clark, and Lois is interviewing Clark as Superman. It's a lovely little Superman and Lois moment. It's a lovely little sort of like callback to almost to the Reeve films, Christopher Reeve films. It's really nice to see him to do that physical and vocal change where he goes from, you know, talking a bit higher to Miss Lane. You know, it goes a bit more. It's nice to see him make that switch.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Yeah,
it's not quite as extreme as the Christopher Reeve one, where he like changes his whole posture. But it was nice to see that again, to see him switch characters just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It just looks like a Superman movie. You know what I mean? I've waited so long for this. Before this movie was even a thing, I've been waiting for, and I think a lot of people have, for this kind of Superman film. And there'll be people online who say, "Oh, whatever, I want Snyder back. This is not Superman. This guy's too goofy." Superman is goofy. He's a guy who wears his trunks on the outside of his trousers. Like, he's a goofy guy, but that's kind of the point. He's got infinite power, and he doesn't want to threaten people.
Yeah, we don't need to try and adult everything.
No,
we don't need
absolutely
everything
not.
to be, you know, morality and stuff like that. Well, conflict is separate to my argument there. Obviously, what would the film be without questioning?
A big punch up.
Yeah, and character, like, inner conflict and stuff.
Yes, I mean, it looks like he's definitely questioning that because the world is questioning him in terms of like going into Baravia, which is international waters, and you know, helping a foreign country in this war, where it's, you know, and he's like, well, no, I don't represent America, I represent the world.
He represents himself as well.
Yeah, I represent myself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is nice to sort of see that, and you know, people questioning his morals and him questioning his own morals, and it's nice. It's nicely executed, and obviously you've got other superheroes in the movie which lie on different sides of the scale. It's fantastic to actually see a Green Lantern construct on the big screen again. I can't wait for Guy Gardner.
Yeah, his little hand gesture.
Yeah. I'm so. I mean, I could talk about this for days, just rambling. I don't think it'd be very entertaining to listen to, but I'm so excited. Is more or less the moral of the story there.
We got some looks at the other characters as well, like the Hammer of Baravia.
Yes.
So I can only assume that in the film, what happens is obviously he goes there and stops whatever conflicts going on over there, and then Lex Luthor probably gets this guy to be like, "Oh yeah, I know where Superman. You know, he lives here. Come get him." Or like, not literally where he lives, but like, you know, we can lure him to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's either that or the Hammer of Baravia is a construct of Lex's doing, and it's you know, it's just him sort of doing a bit of a Palpatine and poking the fire from either side, and spoilers, by the way, for the movie via toy leaks. The guy in the black suit is confirmed to be Ultraman, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ultraman in that Hammer of Baravia suit, perhaps.
Maybe. I'm assuming the Ultraman stuff is going to be a misdirect, because obviously that is not Ultraman.
No, I mean, obviously you've got the whole quantum unfolding unit, or whatever it's called, which leads to different dimensions and different worlds. And that's going to be in this movie, but I don't think this is a conventional Ultraman in the sense of like, oh, it's an Earth 2 Superman. Like, they're part of the what are they called again? Injustice Society? I can't remember what they're called.
Something like that,
the Evil Justice League. The Justice Lords, is that what they're called? I can't remember.
No. It is the Injustice Society.
Is it the Injustice Society?
So.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain anyway. But yeah, I think this is going to be James Gunn has already teased a lot of the Lex's scientific sort of prowess.
Oh,
I think this is going to be a clone.
The crime
Justice Syndicate, crime syndicate. Of course, yes. It's the crime syndicate. Yeah, I'd imagine this is going to be a clone Ultraman's going to be a Superman clone, sort of like a Bizarro sort of dealio.
Yeah.
A proto Bizarro, if you will.
They'll do the classic comic book movie thing where they like mesh like 3 or 4 characters into one.
Yeah,
They can have one name. So,
and you're going to get that big reveal where Superman, beats him up, and then his mask comes off, and it's like,
it's me.
And it's got a CGI'd Christopher Reeve face on him. And then Andy Muschietti comes in, and he's eating a hot dog. And then we just cut to the Flash movie.
Yeah, it's actually a Flash nightmare.
Yeah, you're going to take the mask off. It's going to be David Corenswet, and maybe over time, he sort of deteriorates and becomes a little bit more like a comic accurate Bizarro.
Like Star Wars, where he breaks the Darth Vader mask in the cave, and it's just him under the helmet.
Yes,
it's gonna be like that. I'm sure Corenswet likes that because he fucking loves Star Wars. So I'm sure.
Get this man the Star Wars movie already. Come on now, he would love that. Sorry, it's a very hot day. I needed to drink some water. Anything else to say about the trailer before we wrap things up?
We got a little bit more of Ma Kent this time. She had a couple lines.
True, and Pa Kent in a little voiceover.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice. They're just nice people.
There was this thing about the flooding where people thought that it was connected to the Batman, but there's literally a scene in the trailer where the city is like getting flooded.
Yeah, it's let's not push that narrative any further. We're getting a different Batman for the DCU.
Yeah.
Cut back to a podcast in a year's time where they're like, no, same universe.
Yeah, it's happening. Nicholas Hoult is fantastic.
Oh, he's going to be so good. That whole speech where he's like, Superman. He's not a man, he's an it. Man. So good.
He's man.
He is man.
Yeah, I'm man.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned earlier about Pa and Mark Kent, like, that was a real standout for me because when you compare it to, and not that I think we need to keep comparing things to other films, but you have to compare it to Man of Steel in that moment where Pa Kent is like, nah, just let the people die though.
Maybe. Should I have let them die? Maybe.
Maybe? What do you mean? No.
Absolutely not.
No. So yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see that Superman is back on form. And the characters around him are back on form. And yeah, I mean, this film's going to become my personality for the next year and a half. So I mean, I'm more than happy to talk about it more on other podcasts. But I think that about covers everything.
Yeah, Metamorpho. I just wanted to say, looks fucking crazy.
Of course, and from Toy Leaks, we know that Baby Joey is going to be in it, which is Metamorpho's son.
Yeah.
And
Baby Kaiju.
Baby Kaiju as well. So yeah, James is definitely going to be tugging at the heartstrings with this one, I think. But yeah, very much looking forward to it. We will be back in July for a spoiler cast as well as our regular podcast, I presume. Do a little bonus episode, I think. So yeah, look forward to that in July. As if you're not already excited enough for July, you're getting a bonus podcast from us. So mark it in your calendars, people. We're coming for you.
Oh.
So yeah, that about wraps up the podcast, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for us to on the agenda today.
No, I don't think so. It's funny, we were just talking after the last podcast, we were like, it was a nice, concise one. I think this one's been significantly longer. But hopefully you've enjoyed. Hopefully if you stuck around to this point, you'll consider leaving a like. And if you're not already, subscribing. We are very close to, 400 subscribers?
Yeah, we've been saying this for like 3 months now.
Yeah, but we're like 4 subs away. So if you can make that happen, we'll be very, very grateful. But until then, I've been Brandon.
I've been Will.
And we'll catch you in the next one.